Pandemic restrictions are slowly lifting in many countries, but one business is already in the full bloom of robust reopening: the drug trade. We are seeing new methods, like making cocaine look just like coal, crafting hidden hydraulic false bottom roofs on refrigerator trucks, moving pot by ambulances through COVID-19 red zones, and also a return to the old, hiding heroin in marble slabs from the Middle East, and sneaking tidy bricks of coke onto one of the first cruise ships allowed to set sail for the United States after the long shutdown. The mob reporter here with evidence that narcos never sleep. They've never stopped, even as most of the world did. And if COVID slowed them down, well, they're now making up for lost time. Let me tell you about it. In Spain, police announced a huge haul of coke, cleverly camouflaged in what they called an unprecedented method. The cocaine was made to look like chunks of coal through a complex chemical process, investigators said, then packed up and hidden in a large shipment of real coal. 862 kilos of coke were seized in Medina del Campo in the Spanish interior, and 3 people arrested, including a cop and an old-school trafficker of some renown from the Basque region in northern Spain. The trafficker had previously spent 11 months in prison in Bolivia for drug activity. The trio were named as part of a significant cocaine distribution organization. Investigators said the trafficker, who was experienced in the international drug trade, was importing it to Spain by sea for the domestic market from Colombia, using a network of corporations registered in the name of frontmen to give the shipments legitimate cover. Who said old dogs can't learn new tricks? Here the coke was made to look like coal before shipping it abroad. Investigators said it was almost impossible to tell the coke from the real coal just by looking at it. Not only did this process make it the same shape and color of coal, but it also eliminated the telltale smell of cocaine, thwarting detector dogs at the ports. The chunks of black cocaine coal were mixed in with real coal. Of the 1,364 bags of coal that were stopped, only 30 bags contained the dope. In this video, we see investigators holding a flame up to each and every piece of coal in this enormous shipment to find which ones were chunks of coke. The sacks arrived in Portugal in April. Once detected, tracking devices were hidden in the loads and they were monitored as it was trucked into Spain. Laboratories in the north of Spain were ready to restore the coke to a saleable form. Police estimated its value at more than 30 million euros, which is more than 35 million US dollars. Now, the process isn't quite as unique as the Spanish police would like us to believe. 2 weeks before the seizure and arrest were announced, 691 kilos of methamphetamine were seized at a port in Mexico. The meth was inside blackened cylinders also made to look like coal and placed inside 790 sacks of real coal. Here you see a black cylinder cracked open. That shipment was destined for Spain as well, although on the opposite coast. It's entirely possible they're connected. There is a coal-based antecedent even older. In late 2019, a huge load of cocaine, an incredible 12 tons, was found hidden in 60 tons of coal in Malaysia. The mammoth shipment had arrived from South America. It was the largest coke seizure in Malaysia's history at that point. The Malaysian load was described as cocaine mixed with charcoal to make it look like the rest of the chunks of coal. Local news accounts said the cocaine could only be extracted through high technology by the Department of Chemistry, presumably at a local university. Malay authorities said the coke was also undetectable by sniffer dogs. It seems to be the result of the same process as in the Spanish load. In April in Spain, investigators also marveled at the dark ingenuity of other traffickers. This time it was a system of hydraulic lifts that were built to create a false bottom in the roof of refrigerator trucks. The trucks were used to distribute food across Europe during the pandemic, giving the movement the appearance of legitimacy. Hidden controls would release and lift the metal plates of the roof, revealing pockets of space where the insulation for the refrigeration truck had been removed, creating a hiding spot for a safe route for cross-border transport, despite the border closures and scrutiny. It was mostly moving hashish and marijuana, but also some cocaine, police said. 21 people were arrested in that, mostly in Madrid, Spain's capital, after several raids that uncovered labs, cultivation, and production facilities. In Italy, a record total of almost 13.5 tons of cocaine was seized last year, Italian authorities said on Friday. That's more than 62% higher than in 2019. More than 70% of that coke was found at Italy's marine ports. In the south of Italy, the mafia-infested port of Gioia Tauro, in the heartland of the 'Ndrangheta, the Mafia of Calabria, has renewed its former position as a major gangland gateway to Europe. This month, Italy's financial police announced another huge seizure of more than a ton of high-purity cocaine there. It was found hidden in crates of bananas shipped from Ecuador in South America. Police say the load had an estimated value of 225 million euros because of its high-grade quality. That's about 366 million US dollars. Earlier this year, 1,300 kilos were discovered in shipments of coffee, frozen meat, and fruit, also from Ecuador and also Brazil at the same port, and an even larger load was found at a northern Italian port. There was a time when Gioia Tauro was the biggest gangland gateway in Europe, but a government crackdown and the emergence of alternate routes, such as in Spain and the Netherlands, cut the action back significantly. Over the last year, it seems Gioia Tauro is back. At the height of the pandemic in Italy, a country hit hard by COVID, an ambulance was used to move drugs through the red zones, the areas of lockdown where people could not travel in order to stop the spread of contagion. Medical officials and medical supplies and equipment, of course, were exempt from the restrictions, and the gangsters and mobsters abused that by co-opting the ambulance of a charitable organization. The discovery of drugs in an ambulance was made at the port of Messina in Sicily, after crossing the narrow waterway from Calabria. This week we learned the ambulance was part of a wider and deeper plot than it first appeared, with several loads, mainly of marijuana, moving around Italy. Police tracked loads of 35 kilos, 30 kilos, and 25 kilos by a crime group in the capital, Rome, moving them east to the Adriatic coast and south into Sicily, where it was delivered to members of mafia clans in Messina and Catania, two of Sicily's largest cities. This case provides a sharp example of the grim reality of how easily narcos turn to violence. Wiretaps captured the response when one of their couriers went missing. Not knowing police had seized the load and arrested him, they assumed he had run away with it. Their solution, according to police wiretaps, was one of scorched earth. Quote, "We killed the family directly," he said. "We kill his mother, his sister, his children, his wife," unquote. All over a bale of pot. 8 people were arrested in that investigation. Now, police in Romania also recently uncovered a sneaky hiding spot, this time in a shipment of nice polished marble slabs from Iran. Inside, investigators found 1,452 kilos of heroin, with an estimated value of 45 million euros, according to police. That's more than 53 million US dollars. The 2 containers arrived from the Middle East at the Romanian port of Constanța, on the west coast of the Black Sea. It's the 4th largest port in Europe. The heroin was concealed in a shipment arranged by a legal company that was run by a criminal network. It was an international effort to track it and chase it as it traveled for a controlled delivery in Western Europe in late May. Police in France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Hungary, Austria, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Slovenia were all involved, along with Europol, the European Union police agency. There were a dozen searches in 4 countries and 10 arrests, including 7 in Belgium, 2 in the Netherlands, and 1 in Romania. Police say the boss set up a complex network of legal companies across Europe to move the H from its production site in the Middle East to its markets in Europe. He owned warehouses, companies, trucks in several countries, and had the logistical skills to coordinate and use them. It was the second mega heroin seizure in Europe already this year, with a slightly larger one found in a port in the Netherlands in February. And if anyone needs more proof that the world's narcos are as anxious as anyone for the lockdowns and restrictions to end, there's this. Aboard one of the first wave of cruise ships to return to sailing to and from the United States, a first officer aboard a large Royal Caribbean cruise ship doing a routine inspection found tightly wrapped bricks stowed away in an out-of-the-way void space. 31 kilos of coke were turned over to U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents when it arrived in South Florida at Port Everglades. As things open up and restrictions ease, we will all find important benefits and return to the people and things that we love. And so will the narcos. Thanks for watching.